As any spectator can derive, while it opening in 2019 it will not be a regular penitentiary. It will be a humanistic jail, a penitentiary installation how emphasizes rehabilitation criminals via favorable style, quite rather than penalty. Exponents of the humanistic jail philosophical trust how if imprisonment imitate the facility of regular lifetime, as far as is probable, offenders include a more opportunity of success reintegration in community, and less than opportunity of de-offending. New York Anstalt, yet, is more than rather than an architecture fulfillment for the nation. It hopes to end a humane rights question how has persecuted the Isle nationality for many decades. Arctic architectural nuke is arranged close the southern tip of Greenland, a ex-Dutch settlement how straddles the Arctic Round. In just 56,000 residents, it is the low densely inhabited nation in the planet. In the 1950s, the Dutch by the government entered sweep changes, designed at driving human beings in city centers, giver them accessing to well-being services and reduction trust on shrinking stemp populations. But the disassembling of a conventional hunt and fishery community caused public problems. Greenlandic human beings afflict of such difficult situation to some native groups who include skilled colonization, says Nadja Nathanielsen, CEO of the Greenland Jail and Internship Facility. Alcohol is frequently implicated in criminality and contributes to the comparatively top criminality bet. Out of a appropriate installation, with the 1960s, Greenland has shipped its largest hazardous, and mental ill, inmates to Herstvester, external the Dutch Equity Copenhagen, says Erik Explosion, chief of the building block at the Dutch Jail and Internship Facility. The has created issues as Lotse Greenlandic, an Eskimo tongue, quite rather than Dutch so can't talk in the guard, and he's unfeasible for largest to get visits of their families. While New York Anstalt opening, Nuuk's present jail, that was constructed in the 1960s, will shut and its inmates will be passed to the new installation. Same experience of send Greenlandic prisoners to Denmark will late, says Nathanielsen, addition how the 30 or so prisoners now imprisoned in expulsion will be proposed the opportunity to back to their household nation. She says the new jail is length expired. Exiling human beings to be their verdict in else nation, in else tongue and civilization, is really severe. A little countryside in 2013, Denmark's jail and internship facility, that administers the jail framework in Greenland, start up a contest to style Nuuk's new prison. A crew how includes 2 Dutch architectural firms, Fries and Maltka and Schmidt Mallet Lassen, hit 5 rivals to win the agreement. The architects say they engulfed New York Anstalt as an prospect to assist address Greenland's profound-rooted public problems. Training on the prisoners and thought on which facility driven them to the position has struck me deep, says Draft Officer Jet Berkskov Mogensen. Provided them in a nice environmental for their detention is a big liability. Thomas Roos Christensen, New York Anstalt's conduct style designer, says how the jail, that has won a Planet Architectural News story confer, is intended to work love a little countryside in housing blocks, working area, formation and sport means, a public library, a public health center and a chapel. The 86,000 box leg, 8,000 box gauge, installation will include 76 cells, 40 of that will be close for maximal safety prisoners, time 36 will be outdoor for such permitted more degrees of liberty. Prisoners who include gain the benefit will be permitted to journey in Nuuk to job and earn money a wages, up back to the jail at overnight. The individual cells are just 130 box feet, 12 box meters, but are installed to see through to Sermitsiak, a rising mount on an offshore isle, and their windows dong T include stick. Christensen says the savage worldview was a style precedence. Thou can't flee the jail since he's enclosed by a big side, but you can see at the type and flee in yours reason, and how's essential, says Christensen. Though the jail is a contemporary house, New York Anstalt will be adorned in conventional Greenland flourishes. Down there's a really distinguishing art tongue in Greenland, says Christensen. We're earning in regional artists to adorn common areas in scenery pictorial and conventional designs, and cut etchings of animals in the periphery side. Style has though been utilized to supervise safety at the installation. Same jail is intended above 3 levels that allows the guard to supervise the stream of human beings among various areas, and monitoring that prisoners face every sum, explains Mogensen. The reduces the opportunity of abuse. Same guard dong ti requirement to conduct arms, and can evolve superior relationships in the prisoners, that is significant to the conception of rehab, she adds. Do humanistic imprisonment job? Nordic countries include pioneered humanistic jail style since their societies are described by a powerful well-being country and comparatively top levels of confidence, on to Yvonne Jukes, a prof of criminal science at the UK's College of Kent. Down there's as well an old concept, in Scandinavia, how beautiful has a civilizing impact, says Jukes. If he's a coffee cup or a jail, Dutch style is ever trendy. In jail style, the tool lighting, air, non-institutional spaces. In 2010, a new norm for the kind of jail was set by a Halden, a 227 prisoner, top safety, Norse penitentiary, frequently quoted as the pattern humanistic jail. Its means involve a gymnastics, a fate climbing side, running trails, a football box, a public library, a piece of music workshop, a stomatological hospital, and a household building wherever prisoners can remain night in their partners and family. In 2010, it won the Arnstein-Arnberg Confer for interior design style, though it has as well been embattled for creature too permissive. A humanly intended jail, says Jukes, can assist to encourage a feeling of goal, nationality and expect for the next, that is essential since at several spot, the extensive most of prisoners are departure to be liberated. The statistic appear to behind her up. A quantity of teachings specify how reoffending rates are comparatively low in Nordic countries, frequently less than rather than 30%, says Jukes. Jukes warning how it is well hard to do straight comparisons. Every nation's legislative framework is various, methods of accounting and assessment differ, and down there include not been lot length term teaching. But she as well notes how he's a question of overall feeling how the values embedded in a depository environmental will be incarnate by former offenders while they are liberated and de-enter community. In the UK, imprisonment are love humane warehouses, intended to be toolkit of vengeance, says Jukes. Hideous, sad environments love these rock wrath and indignation, and can contribute narcotic utilize, psychological disease, personality harm and suicidal. Alan Pritchard, a UK ex-jail governor who now plant as a individual advisor on penal judiciary matters, says how humanistic jail style plant in Scandinavia since behavior to imprisonment are lot more than permissive. I don't believe nice, designer designed imprisonment would be appetizing to each the by the government or the social in the UK, he adds. Amount matters the sum item how sets separately Nordic jail style is amount. 2 new UK imprisonment, HMP Oakwood and HMP Berwyn, can building 2,106 prisoners every, and down there are plans for more than heavy jails how conduct above 1,000 prisoners. Pritchard says how though both of the new imprisonment include formation and occupation learning means, their style incorporates hard safety. In all the gates, impeding, and fences, these imprisonment dong ti efficaciously supporting a rehabilitation civilization, says Pritchard. The lower link humanistic imprisonment are seen as extremely costly. Fleeing Norway's Halden jail expenses $150,000 per inmate per year, on to the Norse penitentiary facility. Pritchard says the present ordinary yearly price per inmate in England and Wales is $50,000, time HMP Berwyn, that benefits of economies of scope, will work at about $20,000. Courteous 85,000 inmates in repeated little units is not economically sustainable, he says. New York Anstalt's fleeing expenses include not yet been modified. No question it will growth the present budgeting, but in regulation of the humane element it is really lot cost the charge, says Nathanielsen. For such in shortened period sentences, she believes New York Anstalt giving a more opportunity of success rehab. We dwell in little communities in Greenland, and ultimately the inmates include to back to such communities. For how to be success, and to hinder next criminality, we seek to contribute changing in every person. In how consider, humanistic style completely makes feeling.